Hi there, more ramblings from me today about Mythic Battles Pantheon / Ragnarok. So today I'm going to be having a look at who this guy is. It's been announced by Monolith, and I'll get back to that in a minute. And I'll be doing another video later on about who that person is in the Norse mythology and why he's important. Also, I'm going to go through some more information that's been released about Mythic Battles Ragnarok and how it is going to relate to Mythic Battles Pantheon when that is launched kind of next year. And then I'm going to give you kind of what I would like to see from the 1.5 Kickstarter in terms of new content. I've got a few things I'd like to see. I'm not going to get almost all of them, I'm sure, but I think it's interesting to see what is missing from the Pantheon and what I think would go well and be interesting. Okay, so Monolith have now confirmed that big monster dude is a being called Amir. So that's a primordial entity from Norse mythology. It's a proto-being from which a number of other races are formed, so including humans, the giants, and his body after he was killed was actually forms Midgard and the earth. I'm going to be doing another video which I'll be uploading the next day or so, explaining who he is and why he's important and how he kind of relates to the wider mythology. But yeah, I'm very interested to see that. It looks like a great model or great sculpt, so I'm really looking forward to picking that one up. Now, in terms of how Mythic Battles Ragnarok is going to kind of fit in with the rest of the Mythic Battles world, this information came out of the recent update as well. So Ragnarok will be fully compatible with Pantheon, but it is going to include some new gameplay features. They're going to be driven by the change in mythology. So for example, there's not going to be any Omphalos stone, but I'm assuming there's going to be something else to substitute this, and there'll be some other gameplay elements that change. Now, in terms of Ymir, it's going to be an add-on for Ragnarok that's available during the Mythic Battles Pantheon 1.5 Kickstarter, and of course remains compatible. But they said this, which I found interesting: we should now start thinking of Mythic Battles as a game that combines a range of different mythologies where gods and heroes of many cultures meet and clash like titans. So I'm hoping that this is going to keep going on and carrying on for different mythologies way past Ragnarok. So now I'm going to tell you what I'd like to see from the new campaign. So I'm expecting that there's going to be a little bit of new content, hopefully enough to fill a big box expansion. So I'm going to give you some of the things I'd like. I know I won't get all of this, or probably even half of it, but this is what I'd like to see. Now the first bit's a bit of a given, so new maps. So in update 163 there was a new map called the Rock Pools, which was released by Carl Art, and I looked on his Facebook page at the time, and he also had another Mythic Battles Pantheon map on there, at least an image of it. I think they're going to release this as an additional purchase, and they look like great maps as well, so I'm excited for that. So the first character I'd like to see is Ruinous. So he's like a primordial deity, so he was basically the Sky Father before Zeus was. He was the first son of Gaia, and he was the father of many of the Titans, as well as the Cyclopes and Hecatoncheires, who I'll come back to in a minute. So I think he'd be great for the game, and I'd love it if they added him. So next up, I'd like to see either, or preferably both, the Hecatoncheires and the Cyclopes. So these were the first beings that were kind of produced by Gaia and Uranus. And they were cast down into Tartarus because of the way they looked. Uranus hated them. But the reason I'd like to see them is that they were both really key in the victory of the gods over the Titans. So Zeus released them from Tartarus, and they were also great smiths, blacksmiths, and they fashioned the thunderbolts for Zeus, which helped him to win the war in the end. So really important characters, and to go with those is a character called Rhea. Now Rhea was the wife of Cronus. I don't know what she was a specific god of, but she was definitely a Titan. Now she was the mother of all 6 of the Olympian gods, so I think that alone deserves a role in the game. So that's it in terms of Titans. In terms of gods, I'd like to see Thanatos, who's the the literal personification of death, so what we think of as the hooded figure with the scythe. That all comes from Thanatos. That is him, and he's really important. Some people think that that Hades is god of the dead. He's not. He's god of the underworld. Thanatos is god of the dead. So yeah, I think he's really important. It'd be great to have him there. The next one I'd like to have is Dionysus, so the god of wine and fertility, and interestingly, from a gameplay perspective, also the god of resurrection. So I think that could be a really interesting character to look at as well. The next one I think would be good is Demeter, so goddess of the harvest, as well as fertility and agriculture and the seasons. She's the mother of Persephone and is one of the original Olympian gods, so I think it would be great to have her in there, along with her sister Hestia, who is goddess of the hearth and fire. And the reason I'd like to put them in there is I think that there's a big shortage in this game of strong female characters, and I think it'd be good to put them in there. So that is it for the gods. I've got a few heroes which I think could be interesting. So the first is Helen of Troy, who was the daughter of Zeus and a leader. So she was abducted by Paris during the Trojan War, so a very important character, so I think that would be a good one to put in. And there was another one called Clytemnestra, so she's Helen's sister, and she was also the unfaithful wife of Agamemnon. Again, a very interesting character which I think deserves to be in the game. And the final hero I'd like to see, who I think is a really important character, is Daedalus. So Daedalus was the father of Icarus, who flew too high to the sun and melted the wax off of his wings. But he was also the architect of King Minos' labyrinth. So a really interesting character, and I think that he should be there. If we're going to have Icarus, we should have Daedalus. And so on top of that, I think there's two monsters that I'd like to see added to the game. And those are Orthrus, who's the two-headed dog who guarded the cattle Geiron along with his master Eurytion. He's also the offspring of Typhon and Echidna, well, according to many accounts. But again, an interesting character. I think I'd like to see him in there. And the final character I'd really like to see is Euryale. Now, she was the eldest of the Gorgon sisters, so again, she's got snake hair and a gaze that turns your stone. But she's I think that if you're going to have Steno in there and you're going to have Medusa, you need to have her as well. So that is my characters that I'd like to see in the game. If there's anything that you want in there, anything you think would benefit the game, let me know in the comments below. I'll be interested to see kind of your thoughts on what could make the game better, or at least contribute to the quality that's already there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to be doing more and more as we kind of approach Mythic Battles Pantheon 1.5 Kickstarter. I'll be certain to put up some sort of reactionary videos for new content as and when we know what it is. But yeah, I hope you stick with me and enjoy it at the same time. And if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and yeah, and I'll keep doing them. Cheers.